should I allow fear or the unknown to keep me from making that move? And I
Yeah,
thought about you, bro. Like, I'm like, man, John did it. Like, he
man.
he set the model for it. He set the example for it. So
One thing about it, bro, it's one of those like I guess my mindset when I did move, man, it was like what you just said. I don't know a lot of. I don't know nobody in Memphis. Like where I'm gonna stay. If I mess
yeah,
up, where I'm gonna go? You know, what I'm saying I can't come back to Hasbro. I can't just quit my job and be like, all right, since I can't afford this, I gotta come back. You know. So yeah, for me, it was just more of just there's nothing wrong with where I was from, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It wasn't nothing wrong with it. It was just more of just I knew I my future wasn't there. You know.
yeah,
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 my past, my family, my foundation, where I was built is there, but where I was building and becoming and where I was growing to wasn't there. So I knew in my mind, it's like, all right, okay, I can either stay here, and I even told it's crazy to say this because I told my coworkers that I used to work at WDAM. I told my coworkers, I said, in 3 years, I'm out of here. Three
yeah,
years, guaranteed. Told them that when I first got hired. Said 3 years, I'm out of here. I said either I'm gonna get a promotion, or either I'm gonna leave. Or either I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna leave, go some other state.
yeah.
And literally on the day that I got hired at WDM 3 years later, I left. Left, got to Memphis, got a job interview, got a job. 2 weeks later, I'm working full time, in Memphis. Got my own apartment. I'm talking about this is within 2 weeks. Me moving to Memphis was within 2 weeks. It wasn't nothing that was planned like 3 or 4 months out of, it was like a 2 weeks thing. It was like, all right, pack your stuff up, pack everything up, boom, get out, you leave. And my mindset on it was like I said, it's always been let's get out, let's make sure that we're to make sure that that my mindset was in the right place, because if it wasn't in the right place I couldn't take that next step. But I was making sure like, hey, all right, you know what your goals are, you know where you want to be, your home is not, I don't even think Memphis is my home. I still
Yeah.
don't. I'm still praying towards that, but I don't think Memphis is my home. But I was like, I know Hattiesburg is not my home. I know I want to take bigger steps in my life right now, and I know in order to do that, it's not staying in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
Hattiesburg is not that place where I just want. I know that I'm not gonna want to grow my kids up in Hattiesburg. I feel like it's
Mm,
like I said, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with Hattiesburg. It's a great city. It's great people there. But it wasn't that place where I want to be like, all right, I want my kids to grow up here. I want my kids to be in this little small space where I feel like they're not gonna be able to reach the goals that they want to reach. Now
man.
let's now unless they want that's just something they be like, if they grow up and be like, hey, I want to move back to Hattiesburg and do this, then I'd be like, all right, just want to let you know, this
Yeah.
is who they got in Hattiesburg. If they want to do that, then they'll do that. So yeah, so my mindset was beyond Hattiesburg, man. My mindset was on a whole nother level, a whole different, like, it still is. Like I said, I don't plan on being here too much longer unless guys say, hey, stay here, you gotta go. You got a story right now. Then he
Yeah.
say that, then I'd be like, all right, I'll stay in Memphis. But like my goal is to get up out of here. After I think I gave myself 6 years here. It was 4 years
Okay.
now.
A little more than 3. Okay.
Yeah, a little more than three. Well, actually, after 2 years, no. I gave myself 5 years. 2 years, I did directing. I told myself I was going to get a promotion after 2 years. Got a promotion. So now I got 2 more years, a year, something like that. So
Yeah.
my goal is to get up
Look,
out of there, bro.
bro, I didn't know that you moved to Memphis and you hadn't got a job interview yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't had. Well, I had. So I applied for different jobs, right? I was applying for
Apply for different jobs, but it
Yeah, I was
wasn't
applying
like
for this. Yeah, it
somebody
wasn't like
offered you
set in
something.
stone. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I had no offers. No, I had no offers yet. It actually happened it happened perfectly. I was like, all right, I put my 2 weeks notice in to my job. Had no offers. Like I was just depending on the job applications that I put in. I was like, somebody look, I put in like 100,000 applications. One of y'all gonna call me and offer me a job. And it's crazy, the job that I want to. I don't think I can tell you that I want to move to Dallas. That's my goal. That's my all-time goal, is to move to Dallas.
We ain't
I
too far,
actually
bro.
You said it's too far.
Nah,
No,
I
it's
said
not far.
Houston ain't too far.
Oh yeah, I know,
That's a
bro.
better city.
I don't know. Dallas pretty nice, bro. I don't like the Cowboys, but Dallas pretty nice, bro. You know, let's go Eagles.
Oh man, that's
Uh,
all bad. That's all bad. You can't be in Dallas and be an Eagle fan at
that's
that.
the point. That's the point of going there. Just to show my green, bro. My Eagles green. I'm gonna wear my
Man,
jersey all the time.
that's all bad. I'll be
But
praying for you on that one.
hey, but yeah, so like my goal was to move to Dallas, and like I said, I got a job offer from Memphis, so I was like, oh, bet the pay was better, the the environment that I knew. Don't get me wrong, Memphis is a crime city, but they got some good areas. In the areas
Yeah,
that I was in, I was like, all right, these some great areas I can move in. I moved up there. As I was moving up there, I got a job offer from Dallas.
man.
Job offer. I couldn't take it because I had already took the offer in Memphis. So
Wow.
it's kind of like, okay, it would be very unprofessional for me to be like, hey, I can't work with you guys no more. I just got a job offer somewhere else. That would be very unprofessional. And then, on down the road, I probably wouldn't be able to get a you know, get an interview there or get a recommendation from him or something like that. My mindset was a little different. I wish I would have been like, hey, forget it. Let me just go and go to this Dallas job and forget Memphis. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't, if I did that, I wouldn't be in the spot that I'm in now. So I'm actually happy that I did do what I said I was gonna do. Now I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have a beautiful
Come on.
stepson. He's not my stepson yet. I tell you that date later on. You know what I'm saying?
Come
But
on.
yeah, I got a beautiful girlfriend, beautiful church. I got some great friends now. I got some good close friends now. I got some like I said, good church, good work environment. So yeah, I'm in a great place now. So my goal is still to move though, until God changed it. So
Yeah, man. I mean, you got a plan, and I think that's huge. Not a lot of people have plans when it comes to what's next. And it's funny because like listening to where you were at the beginning when you moved from Mississippi to Memphis,
mhm,
you had somewhat of a plan, but
mhm,
it was just like let's just go to the next thing. I know where I want to be,
yep,
and I might not know how exactly it may look,
mhm,
but I know where I want to be, and I'm gonna take steps toward this. And I think too many people don't get to that place. You know what I mean? And so that's good. And it sounds like too, man, like this season of life for you has really matured you. How do you feel like your move from Mississippi to Memphis has matured you? In what ways has it matured you? What ways have you seen growth? Because I mean, it sounds like a lot of growth has happened, but maybe
bro.
some specific things that you've seen.
It's crazy what 4 year 3 to 4 years would do, just for me moving from one place to another place. I mean, first you can start off by saying, you know, I don't have to worry about, when you're at home and you're in your home spot, you always have a crutch. Your
Yeah,
crutch is your parents or your crutch is your close friends or your aunties and your uncles. My crutch was my mom and dad. I knew if I couldn't make these payments or I couldn't make something, all right, mom, man, I need that help. I moved to Memphis, it was a whole different story. I couldn't just
yeah,
go down the street and be like, hey man, let me come pick up this let me come use your truck to move this from the house, move to another apartment. It was a different mindset on that. So when I moved here, I matured financially. I had to mature financially. Like it wasn't the biggest growth of maturity, but it was like enough for me to be like, all right, now I know that I'm on my own. And I always had in the back of my head, if something mess up, if something happens, just know you gonna have to move back to Hattiesburg. And I was like, I'm not moving back to Hattiesburg. So whatever I needed to do, whether it was taking 2 jobs, taking 3 jobs. I'm talking about I think it was one point in my time where I was doing Fox 13, of course. That's where I work at. That's my main job. But I was also working UPS overnight. So
yeah,
I literally probably get like an hour of sleep a day. So I was tired. Yeah.
yeah,
And then just so I can meet the ends that I need to meet, and at that time I was like, man, why was I doing that? I mean, now and then as I got older, it helped me spiritually too. I had
yeah.
spiritual growth, spiritual maturity growth.
Mm,
And man, because when you're back home, your mama gonna call you. Hey, you going to church tonight? Have you
yeah,
read your word? Have you
yeah,
did this? Well, you know what I'm saying, when you're home. But when I got to Memphis, I didn't have no church home. I didn't have no
yeah,
place to go to church. I was literally like on and off watching, online service. I
Yeah.
was literally watching TD Jakes or watching Joseph Prince or watching who else? Just watching the different people,
Michael
online.
Ty, come on,
Michael
go
Todd,
ahead.
yeah, exactly. No, I actually just my girlfriend just put me on Michael Todd. I knew of
Come on.
him, like I
Yeah.
seen him, around, but my girlfriend put me on like on
Look,
him.
I
So,
met Michael Todd in Dallas.
oh,
Speaks the
for real,
devil. So yeah, good guy, humble guy. Talk
yeah,
to anybody. I'm
for
like,
real.
man, go ahead, follow me on Instagram. I
Did he
DM'd him,
follow you?
said, "Hey, bro, I just nah, he did." I said, "Hey, bro, I just I just saw you. Hey, man, we prayed together, we talked together. He encouraged us and everything, and it was funny because they had just did that giving campaign this year or this past year, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, dang, I wish he would have remembered me because that little however much they gave away millions. That would
Yeah,
have been nice.
yeah, no, that man right there is anointed for real, bro.
Yeah, he's got a
Anointed
gift
for
for
real.
sure. Yeah,
He's oh my goodness. And like I said, my first time put me on, I think what was the first series she put me on? Was
relationship goals because
no,
that's the
no.
one. That's the go-to. Everybody go
This,
to.
well, no, I didn't. So I knew about relationship goals, but I didn't know about relationship goals. Like I heard them,
Mm.
you hear about everybody talking about relationship goals. Me, I was just like, it's a book. It was like when you remember when everybody got hyped over the Steve Harvey book.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was like that. It was like, okay, it's just a book.
yeah.
But I think what was it? Was it Anchor? That was the series that
Mm,
put me on. It was the Anchor series. It
that's
was
a good
that.
one.
And then we went back and we watched the FU series, Forgiveness
Hmm.
University.
Yeah,
Oh, oh, it was some things I didn't even know I was even, still mad about. I was like, dang, I
yeah.
still am mad about that situation. Let me,
Wow.
see if I get some forgiveness or something like that. Like he really broke it down, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. So yeah, so like I said, that wouldn't even have happened if I didn't stay here in Memphis. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So even just looking at little stuff like that, it's just like, dang, I'm actually happy that I'm in the spot that I'm in now. I'm happy where I'm at in life. I'm enjoying, this time. Like I said, I have a whole girlfriend that's gonna be my future wife. Like,
yeah, man.
bro, never been in that mind state of I want to be. I've never been in the mindset of I want to marry you type mindset. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I know, bro. I know.
So this is like a first, and this is like like I said, I'm in a happy space right now, bro. So
My boy was out here, man. I remember.
I mean,
Oh, oh, young John.
you ain't gotta put me out like that, but you know what I'm saying? It's cool.
RMRT meetings, like, hey
Yeah.
man, when you just in a relationship? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah,
Hey,
bro, like,
I still got pictures of them RMRT
fam,
moments, bro.
go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and
have to
send them
send them
to
to
me.
y'all, bro. I'm gonna have to send them
Yeah,
to y'all because I got
that'll
them.
that'll be a good laugh right there. But
Yeah.
um,
Remember
but
we was
man, like thinking about what you said, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I was
like,
just thinking because the thought was honestly like, man, it feels like from my point of view, looking at where you are and just hearing you now, um, it's like you're becoming your own. You know what I mean? Like it's really cool to see you become John. And I think in so many ways it's showing itself like that. Like just from the outside in, right? I'm looking, you moved to Memphis. I'm seeing you working with the news station. I'm looking, you done got rooted into a church where you serving at the church too as well. My boy done grew out his hair. You know what I mean? Used to have a clean cut, ways, all of that. And I mean, it seems like you're comfortable being who you are too. And I'll say that too as well. Like just seeing the growth over years, I can definitely attest, even from a distance, that I've noticed that. And it's been good to see, bro. It's good to see that you're in a good space and everything. Now tell me a little bit about the church
Okay.
that you're rooted in and the ways that you're serving, because music is a part of that, right?
Yeah, so actually music just now starting to be part of it now. So I've been part of Life Church for almost I've been here for 4 years. I've been there for like maybe 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I went in, I started doing media, doing something that I knew how to do, directing and behind the scenes type stuff. I did that for like 2 years, and then finally I got into Kids Life. Started working with. So that's the name of the thing called Kids Life. The name of the department. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, I'm a host. I'm a host now. I host the Kids Life. I go up stage. I go on stage. I talk to the kids. Like, hey, I teach the lesson. I'm starting out as like that, and now I'm part of a group called Axis. It's a youth group.
Mm,
where I think it's from the age of 6th grade to 12th grade. And
mhm.
basically, we just, I have my own tribe, and I take my 12th grade, my 10th to 12th graders, and we talk. We have like real man discussion. It's just like how RMRT was. We just
Yeah.
have real men discussions. We talk about whatever we need to talk about. The name of my church is Life Church, by the way. Pastor John Siebelin and Pastor Lisa. What is her name? Mrs. Leslie. I almost forgot her name. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Pastor Leslie on Siebelin, and yeah, they. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure how long they've been going for a little minute now,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a non-denominational church, and like I said, I've been there for 2.5 years, and I'm doing about everything. And about the music, I actually just so they've known that I played bass for a while, but you have to go
Mm,
through a process when you're going through a church. You have
yeah.
to go through a process. I think you have to go through a process of they're gonna put you through a cultural not meeting, but like a cultural class. And
Mhm.
basically you learn the culture of the church. You learn, everything about the church, how praise and worship go. Want to make sure that you're rooted in your word, make sure you're rooted in your church, make sure everything is on point. So, but yeah, so now that I passed that class and got through that class, now they have me playing bass for like Axis, the youth group. I play bass on Sunday now. Like I said, we have different locations. We have 5 locations in Memphis.
Yeah.
We actually got 5 locations in Memphis. We got 1 location in New York. We got 1 location in Eastern Europe, and then we got 1 location in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
So yeah. So we
Worldwide.
yeah we're growing, and like I said, we're one church in many locations. So we
Hey, come
so yeah
on. That'll preach.
yeah yeah that's actually our motto. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I think that should be the model of the church, because
Yep.
we're in Houston too as well. And I think the more and more we can, begin to see ourselves as the what we call the big C church, the church universal, and just being, different gatherings or different expressions of the church in different areas, the more we can unite together, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Then you have the Little C Church, which is, where you are now in Memphis, like a specific location in a specific city, and just the importance of being able to reach that neighborhood. But I feel like, obviously within church culture, there's been within it a lot of division, and so it's beautiful to see churches champion that, because
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely where we kind of have to in this today's and age, like that's the direction that we have to go in. But man, let me talk about music, fam, because I think when we
Bro,
met
that's
when
the
we met
subject. Yeah.
we met and I think you were playing at Word of Faith,
Mm-hmm.
and you were doing the same thing, like you were doing it just in a different capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were doing sound too as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I knew the extent of your love for music and artistry,
Mm-hmm.
because you were one of the guys that initially when you came and you got into RMRT, you weren't
Mm-hmm.
trying to rap, or at
Oh yeah,
least if you were,
that
we
was
didn't
y'all. That
put
was
you on
all
the track.
y'all.
You know what I mean? And it turns out you are actually a really dope artist, and I didn't catch that until later on. I knew you can make. I didn't even know you can make beats. I found out that later on.
Yeah.
It was just
You've been
like,
trying to rap on my
man,
beats for so long, bro.
this man is an army Swiss knife. Like, he's got all of these different tools in his pocket, and I'm just curious, bro. Like, when did that start, and when did it connect? Like, this is something that I love, and I actually want to create music myself.
Mm-hmm. Man, so I mean, where to start, man? Always what they say, always start with where you were born at. For
Yeah.
me, it was always started with my parents, like my mom, my dad. So my dad, he's not big music art, he's not big on music like that, but he'll play some stuff, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I didn't know you knew about that, dad. But my mom, her background, her side of the family was like straight music, especially her dad. Her dad was a bass player, drum player, piano player.
Mm,
Uh, what else? I think he played guitar. I think he had literally every instrument in his house. Like just had
wow.
people come over. He have a band come over and they'll just play and groove out. So it started with that. My mom, she would watch. You know how you ever seen like the memes or the videos online, like when it's time to clean up when you hear some old Isley Brothers or something playing. or some old
Exactly.
gospel. Yeah, that's what it was. She would be playing music in the morning, and then she'll come wake us up, and we'll be, saying, vibing out as we cleaning up. And I'm telling you, we knew every song that came on. I can probably quote them now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Mm,
a lot of songs. But yeah, it started out as that. Then as I got older, to a point to where I started to realize, like, dang, music is my passion. Like, this is something I love to do.
yeah.
Um, I bought, well, I didn't buy it. My first instrument was a bass.
Mm,
My I was I was asked to join a band, jazz band, when I was in 12th grade.
mm,
The band director came to me and said, "Hey, we need a bass player." I said, "Man, I don't know how to play bass. I don't know how to play anything, man. I'm gonna be honest." I said, I don't know how to play no instruments." He was like, "Oh no, you're good." He said, I'm gonna teach you." So, like I said, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. This whole process was God, bro. The whole bass thing was God.
yeah.
So we in there. He was like, "Yeah, I got you, man. I'm gonna teach you how to play bass." I still remember his name. His name's Scott Johnson. Shout out to Scott
Wow.
Johnson, man. I think he in New Orleans right now. But he yeah. So he was like, "Yeah, I got you." He said, "I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know." It literally started out with him just like, "All right, we're gonna, play this note, three notes, boom, boom, boom." It went from that to, next thing you know, he teaching me five notes a song. Next thing you know, he teaching me the whole full song. I'm going from playing Diana Ross to John Legend. We playing all these, these hits and stuff like that. And then he, got to a point to where I started getting better. Just started getting better and better. And then one day I was practicing inside. I was practicing the songs for Sunday at church during rehearsal.
Mm,
Pastor Burt came up. If you know Word of
yep.
Faith, everybody know
Yeah.
Pastor Orlando Burt. He don't play about music, but he came up. He saw me. He heard me playing. He said, "That's what I'm talking about." And then he was like, and I think at that time we didn't have a bass player for that Sunday. He heard me
Yeah.
practicing those songs, and he came to me. He said, "Hey, you want to play Sunday?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he used to always, Pastor Burt, I thank him and commend him for always pushing me. He always
Hmm.
pushed me when it came to playing bass. He always said, "Practice, practice, practice, practice." Like, if you
Yeah.
don't practice, he knows it. He knows if you don't practice. He knows if you don't, he knows it. And that's one thing that he knew. He knew that I didn't practice as much as I needed to, but he was always on me about practicing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it started out there. He pushed me hard. Next thing you know, I'm playing bass every Sunday at church. I'm talking about, I
Mm,
didn't miss a Sunday, like, every Sunday. And then when it went from I guess it went from me being a musician to actually doing, like, producing. I think I was just leaving 12th grade. And I told my mom, I said, I want to produce music. She bought me my first computer. She bought me my first computer. Then for Christmas, no, for my birthday, she bought me FL Studios. At the time, it
I
was
see.
called Fruity
Yeah.
Loops.
Fruity Loop.
Fruity
Yep.
Loops. Yep. A lot of people don't know that. It was called Fruity Loops, and that's when everybody only messed with Fruity Loops 11.
Yeah.
that was the only one we used to mess with. She bought that for me. Next thing you know, I'm on here trying to learn. And I remember this. I remember this one day. I don't know if you remember this. It was you and Schaefer, and I think it was somebody else. Was it Jim? Was it Jim? I don't know who it was. It was you and Schaefer for sure though. Came
Yeah.
over, y'all. Y'all came over my house. We was making music, talking about music, and I didn't know how to make beats yet. I was like, I can do a little bit here and there, but I didn't know how to make nothing. I was trash. Schaefer sat down, and he had FL Studios before. He sat down
Yeah.
right there by me. And he was like, "This is how you do this." Boom, boom, boom. As soon as he showed me how to do that, oh, it
Hey.
was over with. It went up from there. It went up
Yeah.
from there. So once Schaefer showed me how to do that, that's when it was like, oh, it's over with. That's when I started making crazy stuff. Just like, oh, and then when I learned how to sample, when I learned how to take samples out and learn how to clip, stuff and make it, make the time on time and oh, it was over after that. After that, I just started growing a passion. Like, I started hearing stuff with different songs. Like, I hear stuff like you might hear, like, when you hear a certain sample, you might hear a certain song. But me, I hear, like, okay, I can change it up. I can reverse that. I can do this, and I can switch it up like that. So yeah, when I started doing that, that's when I started growing the love of music. That's when I started growing, like,
Mm,
dang, like, I can
yeah.
really, I can really make music my own not necessarily by taking other people's stuff, but also by making it my own, by putting my own flavor onto it. Oh, okay, yeah, he did that. Yeah, J. Cole did it that way. Bet, let me add this bass on here and this
Yeah.
keyboard on here and watch how different it sounds. That's the
Yeah.
mindset I had. It was, bro, sampling is one of my favorite things to do. I can take any sample. Somebody send me a sample, bro. They be like, hey, can you sample this? I'd be like, say less. I take this whole sample. I take a part that you ain't never heard in the song. You be like, hold on, where that's from? I'd be like, you don't know. I've had different tests. What I usually do is I test my samples out. I let somebody hear my song, and I'd be like, tell me what that sample is. If you can't tell me what this sample is, I succeeded. If you
Yeah.
can tell me what the sample is, then I'm like, okay, I gotta go back in and gonna switch some stuff up. Now can you tell me? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, so that was my mindset about it. That's why I grew to love it. The love was, I think it was already enrooted in me from my mom and my granddad and stuff.
That's
But
dope.
it just started growing more when I just got in, started to put my hands on it, started to be able to do it myself. Like I can hear it, like you can even ask my mom. I would sit in the car when I was a kid. I would hear a song she played. It can be an older song, it can be a newer song. And I would hear the stuff that she couldn't hear. Nobody could hear it. I could hear it. I'd be like, you hear that cowbell over there? She'd be like, oh, ain't no cowbell. Mama, listen, it's a cowbell right there.
That's
And she'd
wild.
be like,
Yeah.
dang, it is a cowbell.
That is.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So like, so yeah, so that's where it really grew up, around my family, around really my granddad. That's the one that I'm telling you, he had instrument on top of instrument, bro. And then at
Man.
the end of my bass, at the end of my jazz band, my teacher, Scott Johnson, he was like, hey, he was like, you can keep the bass. It's like,
Come on.
he said you could keep the bass. I was like, who just gives a bass away like that? Like,
Right.
a bass is pretty expensive, man. He said,
Right.
hey, you can keep it, man. It's all yours. I went from that bass, and then when that bass went out, I actually went out and I actually invested in myself and bought me a $1,200 bass, bro. $1,200 bass, bro. And that told myself I wasn't gonna do that, but I went on and did it, bro.
That's
Not that
investment.
it's an investment, bro. And ever since then, I'm happy that I did it because now I use it more than I've ever had to use a bass in a while. Instead of every
Yeah.
Sunday, I'm playing every other day, every Wednesday, every Sunday, every Thursday or Friday. People asking me to play at gigs and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
so, so yeah. So it's been
The
pretty busy.
bass. Man. Come on. I'm glad you still got that bass and it still worked.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the closet right now. Yep.
I mean, so there's been this progression, man. So you started off, just kind of like you said,
Mm-hmm.
somebody invited you to be a part of a band.
Mm-hmm.
Did that. Didn't know how to play bass. Learned how to play bass.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know how to produce, make beats.
Mm-hmm.
Schaefer showed you a little bit,
Safer, yep.
took it and ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, bro, because you've always been that guy. You've been the type of person. You the type of person that it's like the friend that always be singing, but
Mm-hmm.
he ain't really like, what I'm saying, just trying to create nothing like a song or nothing. But he'll
Mm-hmm.
sing anything. It don't matter
Yep.
what it is. And it's funny because I'm like, John be playing, but he low key can sing. And so then years passed by, I didn't know this. I'm like, he been playing with it, but I didn't know he actually wanted to write songs too. So not just the beat, not just, being a part of a band,
Mm-hmm.
but actually being an artist and having content and lyrics and combining what you create instrumentally,
Mm-hmm.
with the song. And then years later, you come up with Peace. And I'm
Yep.
like, bruh, that song right there,
I'm
is
ha- I'm
fire.
I'm mad it didn't get the fire that it didn't get, but I'm not. It'll be all right. It's I think it's gonna hit at a time where it needs to hit. So
It's relevant. I mean, and it's something, it's a topic obviously that hadn't gone away. It's something that we'll always be longing for
mm-hmm.
until Christ's return. And it'll
Yep.
be something that we'll have to come back to and be
Mm-hmm.
reminded of and try to find hope in, in turbulent times like, the times that we're in right now. So tell me a little bit about the song Peace, about the process. Um, did you create that beat with Peace? And then what was the thought process? What led you to write that song?
Yep. So man, I think at the time it was crazy. This is actually started at the beginning of the pandemic. I was sitting in the house, and I think we had just got the. It was me and no, I'm roommate with Jonathan Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If some of y'all don't know him, he's one of my homeboys I grew up with back at well, I didn't grow up with, but we've been friends since we've been working together at WAM. But yeah, we roommates. We were sitting in the house. He was in his room, and I was in the living room. And I'm working from home. And as I'm working from home, I'm getting calls like, I'm getting a call from friends talking about, man, did you hear about this shooting? The Ahmad, I think it was Ahmad Arbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got shot running down the street, and we had got the news about it. I was like, dang. I was like, bro, like this is it's happening too much. And that's the mindset we had. And I was just sitting there, and like usually when I get sometimes I get my samples from Splice. I don't know if producers usually know what Splice
Yeah.
is. Splice, you can go get your samples, get drum kits and stuff like that. And that's what happened. I saw a drum kit. I saw a guitar kit. I love guitars. That's one thing I love. I saw a guitar kit on Splice, and I was looking at it, I was like, man, I ain't heard this one, and I ain't heard nobody use this one before. So I looked at it, looked it up, got it, you know, looped it. I did a little editing. I didn't do that much editing. I just did a little editing. And I was like, okay, this sounds like something that needs to make a movement or something like that. That was my mindset. And I was just sitting here, I was just like I said, I was just literally sitting there and watching. I think no, I was playing Call of Duty, bro. I was playing Warzone. Sitting
Yeah.
here playing. This is when Warzone just came out. I'm playing Warzone. I'm trash, but I'm playing. And you just sitting here the beat, and I just had the beat play, repeat. It was just on repeat. Just kept playing over and over. The beat was, like I said, the beat was already made.
Yeah.
The beat was already good with the beat. The beat just sat there for a minute. So I'm sitting here like, no, I was just singing, blah blah blah. And then next thing you know, the first thing that came to my head was like, "What's peace?" You know, that was the
Yeah.
first thing as I'm playing. I literally stopped playing that game. With the game that I was in, I said, all right, guys, I said, I gotta go, y'all. Got off. I jumped off in the middle of the game. I think they actually won that game. Got off the middle of the game, went into my little, so it's not, I don't have an office, but it's like a little desk area, whatever. And I just sat there and I was writing. I had my notebook. I can, if I had it, I don't think I got it on me. I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, so I'm not at my house.
Yeah.
But my notepad, I everything that I'm serious about, I write in my notepad. If I'm not serious about it, it's not in my notepad. So I wrote it down. I was like, man, what's peace? Another black man killed in the streets, and that just came straight to my head. Like right then, like I didn't sit there and think 4 or 5 hours on it. Everything came within a night. Like it came within a night. I had my boy. I said, Jonathan. I said, come here, come listen to this. He actually wrote he
Yeah.
wrote my verse and his verse. I told him, I said, bro, you just worry about the verses. Let me worry about the beat. Let me worry about the chorus. Let me make sure that the layout is perfect. He
Yeah.
came up with his first verse. That was him on his first verse. Came on there,
Right.
and bro, he was on there. I was like, oh, you coming for somebody's neck. Like, like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? In a rap world, it's like, oh, okay. So I started writing my verse down. He came back in the room in like within like an hour. He said, how they sound? I put the beat on, I played it, I sung my verse. Next thing you know, he rapped this part, and I was like, I stopped the beat. I said, bro, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Recorded his verse. While I'm editing his verse, he go back into the room, listen to the beat. I'm over here like editing, blah blah blah. I finished his verse. By the time I finished his verse, he came back out with my verse. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm looking at, I'm like, all right, let me try it out. I rapped it. The first time I rapped it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, let me try it again. I'm not a rapper. I don't rap. But I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it out. I go in there, boom, 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 rap it, boom. Next thing you know, it started. I was like, yeah, this is it. So we sat there, we literally sat there and listened to that song probably like 50, 60 times. Just repeat, sitting there. We called one of our homegirls, Alexis. We was like, hey, like you hear this? Like, hear this. Tell me what we missing. Tell me this, tell me this. Played it. She was like, you're not missing anything. So we just kept,
Yeah.
it was like gonna be the guitar with drums, maybe a snap or something. It was like, let's put a snap or something. It was gonna be like that. And then we was like, man, no, it's more raw and more intimate
Yeah.
with just the guitar,
Yeah.
you know, especially with the beginning being that news area, the little news part at the beginning, and it goes straight into the guitar, and then it keeps the guitar the whole time. That's the it was like, yeah, we're gonna keep just the guitar. And because
Yeah.
we didn't want it to be too overbearing to where, like, somebody listen to and they be like, oh, I'm too distracted by the snares, I'm too distracted by the hi-hats,
That's a
so we
good
wanted
point.
to keep it raw. So yeah, that came out of breath. That literally came within a night. Everything was written down and recorded in the night. The next night what we do after the next night? Oh yeah, next night we just made sure we listened to it all day. Then Wednesday we released it. Well, we put it on DistroKid. DistroKid take about a couple days to release. So
Fact.
put on DistroKid. Friday it came out. So that was all within like a week, like literally made up within a week. Well, it was made up in a day, but it was released within a week. So yeah,
Those
it was
those be the best songs, man. Like the ones that, it just come to you,
yeah,
and then it be so good, like you can't wait. You can't sit on
yep,
it. You
yep.
know what I mean?
And that was
Because
something
it's
I literally had to stop playing the game for that one, bro. I was like, man,
that's
that's
wild.
this song is probably and we were sending it to everybody. We were sending it like P Diddy. We were sending it to everybody that was posting something.
Yeah,
P Diddy, Drake. I mean, they might not seen it, but still the fact that we was sending them out, we was reposting it. We put
yeah,
it on, I think we put it on SoundCloud. It's everywhere, but we put it out everywhere. So yeah, we was making
yeah,
sure that we was trying to get some type of viewership from people and stuff like that. And it actually hit. A lot of people hit us up about it. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it hit its full potential yet.
yeah,
I don't think everybody heard it. I want everybody to really, sit and listen to it. And I think what's gonna have to happen is, even on TikTok, I think it's gonna be like one of those things you see on TikTok. It's gonna happen
yeah,
where people be like, oh dang. Like, all right,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I was
yeah.
about to say timing is everything.
Yeah.
And for a lot of artists, man, a lot of artists that have taken off,
Mm-hmm.
some of the songs that were the things that got them noticed,
Mm-hmm.
were older songs that they had, like, oh, I wrote that. You just now seeing this, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But it was just the timing and the right
And
person,
yeah.
getting the ear. So I mean, y'all did it right. And I would love to put you today's artist spotlight, and I want to use
Appreciate that, bro.
Peace for that. So I'll try to rip it off of SoundCloud and just play a
Yeah.
snippet and
Oh
tell
no, I
people,
can.
hey,
I send it to you. What about that?
go stream this.
Yeah, yeah,
Go, you'll put some money toward this.
yeah,
Cause
yeah,
I know them streams, man. You gotta be playing music night and day to get something out of it. But
yeah.
but man, I thought that was amazing. I thought that song is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So from Peace, what's next? Like, that's such a impactful song. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of artists that create songs like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to jump off of that, and create something else, because you're like, I want to create that same feel again. Or maybe you don't have that struggle, but for you, what's next after this?
Man, you sound like my girlfriend now, bro. She
That's
asked me
good. I'm
what.
in good company
Yeah,
then.
yeah. She wants to know what I'm gonna do next musically. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm still producing. I'm still working on stuff for sure. But I want to do a EP.
Yeah,
I wanted to work on an EP. I'm not pushing it out, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like it's gonna happen. But right now, like I've been making beats, a lot of beats, and I want to be able to produce my own EP where I'm actually bringing out my artistship, bringing out me. Maybe I'm rapping, maybe I'm singing, maybe I want to bring that out instead because like a lot of people know I can make beats now.
yeah,
At first they didn't, but now everybody knows. Like I post it on my Instagram sometimes. Everybody know I can make beats, so I want to get to a point to where I want to show that I can. Hey, I'm not only a producer. I can rap too, bro. I got bars. I
yeah,
don't use them, but I can sit here and write something out. I can't freestyle, but I write. I can write. Like my writing has gotten so much better. I can write some stuff out. I can. You can literally. It's some songs that I showed my mom, and it's funny. I showed my mom. I showed my girlfriend, and they hear it. And they was like, you wrote this? Like, yeah.
yeah,
They like, you sure you wrote this? You ain't copied this one? I said, that's all me. Everything on there,
yeah,
all me. And just from them being shocked, that shows you that dang, like I can really write. I mean, not just them, just different people have told me that I can really write.
yeah,
So yeah, so I want to show that off, and my goal is to work on that. Now, as a time limit, this is something that I want to take my time on. I don't want, I'm just like Cole, like how he put his out and he took his time on it, bro. I
yeah.
want to take my time on it. Not saying
Did
that I'm
you
on the
did
same
you
level.
watch the documentary though, bro?
bro, he said he had writer's block. He said it was sometimes when he'll write some stuff and it wouldn't even like he just wouldn't even think it's dope. Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
just released that. I was like, I'm rolling with that. That's something I'm gonna have to do because it's a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna say something after, but keep going, bro.
No, I was just saying, no, I'm just you can go over here right now. I was just saying I need to go on. I need to go and start playing and go and start putting this stuff out and just, that's
That's
why
it.
that's what I
That's
need
it.
to do, bro. I just need to just put it out. You never know what the and think about it, bro. Everybody keep telling me, just put it out, put it out, put it out.
Yeah.
Your income could be from that and you playing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go and start playing and put some stuff
Hey,
out, bro.
well, that's what I was gonna say because I'm like, don't take too much time. I mean, that's what I got from Cole's doc too, as well. Like he was talking about how he had writer's block and
Mm-hmm.
how he was waiting on inspiration before actually writing. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think he said he had met with Pharrell or somebody and was realizing that Pharrell was taking it like an actual 9 to 5 job, and he transitioned to that mindset and just started really being intentional about his writing and not allowing inspiration to just come, but actually engaging it and fostering inspiration. I think that's big for any artist. That's kind of where I am, man. Like just writer's block, and then like saying to myself, well, I ain't doing that, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to wait for this perfect moment, and then where I have this perfect song and everything is kind of put together neatly, and it's like, man, like I just need to put it out. And I think for you, like just listening to Peace, how impactful Peace is, even though it may have not have done the numbers or gotten the exposure that you've wanted it to. Like the whole point of like creating art and doing what we do is not even from a numbers game, but just the lives that can be impacted and the relatability that people could have, and to have something that could bless the people. I think is more of a thing that we should pursue than for us, because we gonna critique to death. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna critique so much that we'll never release
Yeah.
anything. And so I got to be careful with that. The type of music that I know not only that you've created, but I know that you can create after listening to what you created. I'm like, man, the sky is the limit. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I think too, allowing people to hear the process and the progress of where you are is something that I think you should give the people opportunity to kind of have, to be like, okay, like I hear progress, I hear process, I hear all of that. Cause I think people relate to that too as well. Cause like for us as artists, we seek perfectionism so much and to perfect the craft that we almost give this unrealistic expectation to our listener, not only of our music but on how life should look for them. And they are trying to get to this perfect space before they can believe that they can do something like we're doing. And it's like, nah, you ain't got to be at this perfect spot in order to make this happen. Like with what you got now, you might be working a 9 to 5 and want to be doing music full time, but you can do that now. Like you don't have to wait till you full time, which will never happen if you're not working now at that. But you don't have to wait to that. Like you can do it now, and you ain't got to be the best artist. So, bro, like I call them jocks, but shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vicario, like leaps
But he
and
nice.
bounds.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he would probably tell you this when he first started. I was like, nah, bro, like you gotta bring it. You gotta bring it if you're gonna do it. This ain't it.
Yeah.
And I remember this was 2017 when I started noticing like he was always writing though.
Mm-hmm.
And 2017, I had started working on my project overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why it came out halfway decent is because of Shy. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting up here amazed because this brother has not only had leaps and bounds, but I consider him a better artist than me now. And
Mm-hmm.
that just happened from him, just constantly working and putting out content. And I can remember Scooby Doo raps that he used to have. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that line was okay. I helped me out. You know what I mean? That line was kind of rough, but then, just seeing it to now, that
Yeah.
brother fire. You know what I mean? And
He's came a long way. And I remember he had posted online something about it was something along the lines of him quitting or something like that. And I had to tell
Yeah.
him, boy, I said, bro, I said, no. I
Don't do
said,
that.
as soon as you stop, that's when everything gonna happen the way you want to happen. I said, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I said, you should keep working at it. I said, don't, and you don't want to speak out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell him, don't speak out your mouth that, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna fail. Because if you
Yeah.
speak that out, that's what's gonna happen. You know, it
Yeah.
says that in the Bible. So
Yeah.
I had to tell him, like, come on, man, watch what you say. I said, bro, keep working, bro. I said, maybe the people in Hattiesburg probably not just pointing out Hattiesburg, you know, because that's where you stay at, but maybe the people where you from might not, you know,
Appreciate it.
like the
Yeah.
stuff that you do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, but that don't mean the people next door ain't gonna like it. You know, that don't mean the people in
Facts.
Jackson or the people in Memphis are gonna not gonna like your music. I said, you just have to find a different avenue. You know, maybe when you put out music, maybe it's not about, hey, you know what I'm saying, hey, homeboy, you know what I'm saying, come listen to what you think. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah.
gonna always give you a feedback from a friend point of view. He's gonna
Yeah.
always say, man, that's dope, that's dope. He ain't gonna always give you an honest. And maybe you just have to send stuff out to artists, like even not necessarily not big artists, not like a J. Cole or a Drake. Maybe you have to send it out to like you know different art, like Dear Silas. A lot of people don't know
Yeah.
Dear Silas. He from
Yeah.
Jackson. Send some stuff to him or send some stuff to other people to where they can give you feedback. You know what I'm saying? And they can
Yeah.
give you honest critique because. Like I said, people from Hattiesburg, people from where you're from, ain't gonna always give you the best advice because they gonna always want to see you win. But then again, they gonna always be the ones that's gonna be behind your back telling people that you ain't good. So
Yeah.
because if you notice, everybody that has the most haters, most of their haters come from where they from. So,
Yeah. That's
so
good.
just be, you know, you have to really be open minded and be, you know where, be open minded and know where to get your help from or get your critique from. I don't
Yeah.
ever send my music to my homeboys. Like I let them listen
Yeah.
to it. I'm like, hey, you can hear it, that's fine, but I'm not gonna take your critique and be like, unless I can feel the honesty behind it. I'm just gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
My favorite question to ask people is if you heard this song, if when I play this song, if you hear this song, is this a song that you're gonna put on your playlist and hear it all the time? If it ain't a
Yeah.
song that you don't hear all the time, then no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm not
Mm.
gonna release it. Or if I'm not gonna release it, I'm not gonna let I'm not, you know, I'm gonna let somebody, I'm gonna let somebody else hear and be like, hey, what you think? You know, and if they
Yeah.
say the same thing, then I'm like, all right, cool. That's more than enough I need. So it's all
Man.
about who you reaching out to, man. It's all about who you asking for critique because, like I said, everybody's gonna, you know, some people see you as a meal ticket.
Yeah.
Some people see it like, oh yeah, oh he gonna make it out the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that means
Facts.
we finna, you know, ride on his coattail and just wherever he go, I go. You
Yeah.
know, so
That's what Cole said, man.
so
95
it's just
South.
all about your circle, bro. All about who you hang around. It's always all about who you hang around. All about who you ask critique from. All about it's all about where you from, bro. It's just all about where your mindset is about it. You know, so
Yeah.
that's just
And
my
it's funny. That's good input. I think that's good feedback. Cause I mean, I was thinking too, like, allowing critique to turn into fuel and not famine. Cause so many
mm,
people, they don't, realize that, man, like whenever you get critique, you should use that to sharpen whatever it is that, people are saying that you bad at. And on top of that, like what you were saying, like that don't mean it's true.
yep,
And so a lot of people, they hear critique or get negative feedback, and then that causes them to, kill off all of their dreams
yep,
and to not
exactly.
continue to work on it and foster like growth, so they not tilling the soil anymore. And as a
Mm,
result, things die. And then you don't
yep,
have anything from that. And so,
mm,
yeah, I think, that's definitely, looking at your example, looking at Shad's example, like you guys definitely are great models of that. Because even when I, listen, I remember you had sent me a beat that I still ain't got to this day that I'm still waiting on. I'm like, bro, like I don't even want that beat anymore. I want what you got right now
what I
because I
got
know you've grown in leaps and bounds, especially when you're talking about sampling. So I'm just throwing this out there for the people to know. Monday I'm dropping a single and it's got a sample in it. And so now that I am kind of hearing that that's your strong suit, that's what I want. That's what I need. Because as an artist, that's where I feel like I thrive. I thrive with the samples. So we're
Okay.
gonna go ahead and work this out.
I'm gonna
But
go and stop playing, bro. I'm gonna go and start sending you stuff, bro. I know I be BSing sometimes, bro. I do.
man, it's all good. It's all good. But I'm gonna remind you, you know what I mean? Since you said that, now I'm gonna hold you accountable. You said that, not me. So and I gotta record it. So now we good.
We got
But
yeah. Can't do nothing
what
about
I man, what I like to do with everybody on Cut Different Podcasts, I like to do a would you rather. And for you, I mean, we're gonna stick on the music side and kind of get away from what you're doing with the station and everything and the whole move. But as an artist, this is something, and even as a musician. So the would you rather is, would you rather have an amazing vocal voice, an amazing voice, or be able to play any instrument ever created?
Um, I'm gonna go with play with any instrument ever made
And
because
why?
I'm about to tell you why. You're gonna make more. I feel like you're gonna make more money as a musician than you are as a vocalist. Cause I'm gonna tell you why. You have a lot of vocalists, right? You have a lot of vocalists, but they're gonna
Mhm,
always be taken. They're gonna always be taken.
mhm,
Musicians, if you know how to play every instrument, say for instance, let's just say for instance, we're gonna start with a small band, right? Small band, they got a piano player, bass drum. I mean, a piano player, a bass player, and a drum player. But what else they don't have? They don't have a guitar player. So boom, next thing you know, you already got you a spot. Say for instance, you get that spot as a guitar player, and one day they like, dang, our piano player can't play. All right, bet I can play piano. Next thing you know, you have income coming from two different places. As they know,
yeah,
you're able to play these different instruments, but you're also able to create as well. Not saying it's nothing against vocal artists, but it's just when you're playing instruments, you're able to create music, you're able to create original music, you're able to play, original music, you're able to, get gigs and bands, especially if you can play any instrument, and you're able to you're able to record those instruments as well.
yeah,
And you don't have to worry about when you're from a producer standpoint, you don't have to worry about calling other instrument players and say, hey, I need you to come play this for me. And they be like, all right, it's gonna be $500, $600. And you be like, no, never mind, I got it myself.
yeah, yeah,
So you don't have to worry about that. I think that's the luck that I have when it comes to producing. I don't have to call nobody and say, hey, can you come play this piano? Or hey, can you well, I actually got a guy that I do talk to, and he helps me out a lot tremendously. His name Gary Picks. If you know Gary Picks,
yeah.
yeah, sometimes I call him Heat, man. That boy right there, gee, that
With the
boy.
horns.
Oh, with the horn. Have you heard him on keyboard?
See,
Oh,
I'm missing out, bro.
bro. Oh my goodness, bro, nasty. He nasty
Yeah.
with it. He's nasty. People, he. That's another person I feel like that underrates himself. He's
Mhm.
he's bro, he's underrated. People tripping on him. Like
Yeah.
he's one of them guys that I would say definitely is like one like a in my eyes as all the artists out of all the instrument players I ever played with, he probably my top two.
Mm.
Him and who would be my second? Cinco, what's his name? Darren Roberts. I
So
don't know if you know
Cinco de
him.
Mayo.
It's not Cinco de Mayo. What's his boy name? Cinco Drums or something like that. I forgot his Instagram name. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's a great out of them two, them probably the best instrument players I've ever played with. Ever. And
man.
then of course Ian Burt, he would be the best guitar, but ooh, him and Adam. That's
Yeah, I was
all.
about to say
Him and
Ian
Adam.
Nice though.
Ian Nice, but him and it's another guy he played with. He played with a famous band in Nashville. His name Adam. He nice.
Okay.
Out of them two, they both nasty. But yeah, that's probably what I do. All instruments.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Garrett. That
Yeah,
dude,
my
man.
guy.
Yeah, he definitely is a beast.
He was
And
in
he
my album.
actually, yeah, I think one day he hit me up randomly and was like, "Hey, bro, I wanna do like a remix to one of your songs."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Bro, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ain't even gotta ask me. Go ahead, and do it. Let me hear it." I
He's
can't
one of
even
them
remember if
guys.
he sent it to me.
He's one of them guys that I would send any track to, and I always tell him like he'll even ask. He's like, "Can you send me a track?" I said, "No." I said, "Bro, I send you everything. Here you go. Whatever you want to do." He's one of them guys
Yeah,
that I do not mind giving him. I give him all my masters just so he can do whatever he want with them.
that's
Because
crazy.
that's just how
Yeah,
nice he is with it. He know he
yeah,
his mind is just different, bro. Like, oh my goodness.
yeah.
So that's one of them artists I do not mind giving my
Hey,
work. So
shout out to Garrett and Ian Burt too. By the way, Ian probably don't even know I stay watching him from a distance as well. But
yeah, I love.
he trying to be a doctor or something like that, a lawyer or something.
He's a lawyer now, bro. I think
See,
he
look,
passed.
I knew he was doing big
Yeah,
things. You can't have the Burt
he just
name
graduated.
and not do big things. So that's big time.
Yeah.
Well, Man, John, I appreciate your time, bro. I just want you to know you cut different, bro. You cut above the rest, and that's why I wanted you on this podcast. All the wisdom that you shared is just, I mean, the people will know now. How can people get to you if they wanted to connect with you?
You can reach me at Instagram, Twitter. Well, mostly Instagram. The Professor 2 underscores.
The
So
professor.
the THE Professor.
Yeah.
Professor is spelled correctly, and then 2 underscores, underscore, underscore. So yeah. Or if you want to just find me on Facebook, John Privitera, Privitera. It's not Privetera, because somebody spelled it wrong. They sent me that email. But yeah,
I ain't no
Facebook,
good.
Instagram, whatever one, it doesn't matter. Or you can call me at. No, I'm just playing. I'm not getting my number out like that. I don't know how
Hey,
many.
look, my last guy interview, he gave his number out. He was like, "Hey, look,
Real?
I'm willing to chop it up." But he was an entrepreneur. We talking about
Oh,
entrepreneurship, and he was, he's got a group that he's got going. So
mhm.
that's big time. Other question, random question too at this before we end. Where'd you get the name Professor from? I've always wanted to ask that.
Bro, it was so. I don't know if you remember that church. What church was that? It was a church right there by. All right, it's on the corner of Lincoln, and they used to have a little basketball court, right? The little basketball goal, right?
Yeah, you talking about Avenue, 20 something
Yeah,
Avenue. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And they used to
Picasso
have
Nelson
basketball
preaching
court.
at that church now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They
Yep.
used to have basketball courts right there, but they don't have it right there no more. And we used to play basketball right there. Like we'll leave from school, from high school, and it'd be me, Channing, Cortez, all of us. We would just play. And we used to play, till nighttime. I used to go there, play ball or whatever. And I remember somebody called me the professor. I think it was Channing.
That's
He called me
funny.
the professor. Yeah, and I just ran with it as I took it. And then next thing you know,
Uh,
some people started calling me that from making music. So I was just like, all right. So I just kept it. But
hey,
now
look,
I think
that's
I'm
what's
gonna,
up.
I'm gonna go back to my original name though. I think
Bro, you
that
can't do it, man. You've been the
gotta go
professor
back to
too long, man.
yeah, that's
But
true. I gotta go back to my
nah,
original
that
name.
makes sense. That's cool. Go back to the roots. But hey, look, y'all can follow him at the professor. Like I said today for Friday, it is May the 14th. John Privitera is going to be our artist of the day, artist spotlight. We're going to play his song Peace. If you hadn't heard his song Peace, go check out his song Peace on all media outlets. You can find that. Stream it for this brother so he can get some money from that too as well. John, I appreciate you coming on Cut Different. Everybody, we appreciate you viewing. As always, share, like, subscribe. We need your engagement if other people are going to find out about what Cut Different Podcast is. So thank you for all the love and the support. We'll see you guys next time.